right, let's do some talking to the mic.
Okay. Testing, mic check.
Sounds really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write from right here though. This is where it's comfortable.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sure. All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Pursuit of Hoppyness. Today I'm joined by Johnny Boy.
Hey.
This is my cousin, and this dude's been on a journey, physically, mentally, spiritually, the whole 9 yards. And I was super excited to talk to him, mainly because, one, it gives me a reason to try these kombucha beers. I'm a little, I don't know, man. I'm a little wary about it, but he's making me feel pretty good about it. And then two, because this is one of the few people that I know in my life that like actively pursued their dream and did whatever they could to make it happen. And that's really inspiring. And I kind of wanted to get him behind the mic to talk a little bit about his experience. Sorry. So yeah, thanks for stopping by, brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So we're going to try these. I talked about these in my last podcast, the Kyla Kombucha. If I'm not mistaken, they're a branch of the Full Sail Brewing Company, and they're a more commercial, like brewery trying their hand at kombucha beers.
Okay.
So like it's not so. Oh, I forgot to put this fucking. I don't know why I got gassy all of a sudden. Dude.
Yeah, you're about to get real gassy.
I'm just anticipating the kombucha in my stomach.
Yeah.
So I bought myself a variety pack so we can try all the various flavors. But what do you know about kombucha?
It's delicious.
Besides,
yeah. Well, I started drinking kombucha when I was like weaning off of sodas and things like that. So I still needed like a bubbly, liquid substance. To
okay.
Kinda,
but this was so this was not hard kombucha that you were kind of weaning with. It was your standard like kombucha tea. Is it?
Mm-hmm, every day. But the cool thing about it is that there is like a small alcohol percentage because it's fermented, so it does get a little bit of alcohol in it.
I think I was reading somewhere that when it does become fermented, I think what is it called? The FDA?
FDA.
They're the ones that had to step in back like a couple of years ago because they were finding that all kombucha when it was made had anywhere between 0.5 to 2% alcohol. That sounds kind of crazy to me. Like, how long had people been drinking kombucha before the FDA stepped in and was like
on the low?
Yeah. That's like even better than that near beer shit, right? Like that.
What's a near beer?
It's some kind of Midwestern like watered down beer that like young people will drink just for like the flavors of alcohol, but like without a whole lot of alcohol in it.
I remember one time I expressed that I drink kombucha, and someone mentioned Lindsay Lohan. When she was on probation, she would drink a lot of kombucha.
Really? Oh, she was trying to like cheat her probation officer. Like, oh, I'm not drinking beer. Yeah. She's like fucked up.
Right.
Oh man, that's not bad. So, so there's a lot of health benefits to kombucha, isn't there?
Yeah, probiotics, like your gut biome is super important to you. They refer to the stomach as the second brain. It kind of looks like a brain too.
A gut biome, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds pretty intense.
It's a whole world.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right. So probiotics, man, what are those good for? They're just kind of good for what? Helping you like take a shit or something, or
pretty much, yeah. Everything, the whole stomach is just helping you extract nutrients and break down your food into excrete the waste, and the more efficiently your body can do that, the better for you.
But I don't know. Probiotics and alcohol aren't friends, though, right? Like those two things they don't work together. Like
evidently they are.
But here's the thing, though. It's like I think after you get to a certain alcohol level, it starts to actually kill off the probiotics in the drink.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I wish I had a little more information to give you guys that are watching, but I'll look into it and I'll give you an update on one of my social media pages. But I do know that kombucha is full of probiotics, but I think when you put in a certain amount of alcohol, that's why when it ferments, it only gets to like 0.5 or 2%.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it naturally does while maintaining the probiotics that are inside of it. But when you like add more alcohol to it, you're actually killing off the probiotics.
I'm not sure.
I mean, that makes sense. I believe it.
Yeah. You put alcohol in anything and it pretty much kills it all.
Yeah. But that's not to say that kombucha still doesn't have a ton of other good things for you. Like I think probiotics are just like one of the many beneficial things for your body. I can't think of all the different chemical names that assist with your, what do you call it, a gut biome?
Your gut biome.
Yeah.
with your gut world.
So So yeah, so I got this variety pack, and I think I have had the hibiscus lime before, and I think that's the one I talked about
Okay.
in my last episode. So we'll start with that one. And I'm kind of a, if this is good for your stomach, I'm kind of okay with trying these three, because in my last episode, I tried 6 beers, and I had to split it into 2 episodes. And you can tell gradually as I was trying more and more beers, I was burping, I was getting all gassy, I was getting all bloated, and I was like, oh shit, that's too many beers at one time, man. But I don't know, kombucha beer might just clean me up a little bit.
It might do the opposite too. Who knows?
All right, let's get into this
Excellent,
hard
my
kombucha.
friend. Here
Let
we
me
go.
take a look at some of these. It's only 1 gram of carbs per serving, and the serving is a whole
Black
can.
tea culture, sea salt, lime juice. Yeah, there's
Any of
nothing
those kind
really.
of jump out at you?
I mean, nothing really. It seems like it's. I mean, well, except for the alcohol, it seems like it's gonna kill me.
So when you see natural flavors, like what are they talking about there?
Oh man, what is it? What is natural?
What is
flavors?
natural
You
flavors?
know what is natural flavors? Because
You're talking to the mic.
oh,
You can move the mic if you
Okay.
like. You know what I mean? Just it's yours, man.
what is natural flavors?
That's what I'm
Like,
curious
what
about,
is-
because I'm reading the list and I'm seeing black tea, kombucha, culture, hibiscus flowers. See, I'm seeing all that lime juice and then natural flavors.
I know, man. I know.
That's like a big like. Don't worry about it, eh?
There is that is. It is. There's actually a conspiracy theory that regards natural flavors.
What's the conspiracy, brother?
Well, and I don't know. Like, apparently it's been debunked or not, but I suppose for the sake of storytelling,
Okay.
it's good. Natural flavors is aborted fetuses.
What? Shut the fuck. All right, guys, we're gonna go on a little journey here.
Yeah, right. You can go down that rabbit hole.
Aborted
later.
fetuses.
Yeah, aborted fetuses. All the natural flavor. is aborted
So what are you saying? They take these fetuses, they put them in a blender, and then
Yeah.
they get like an extract from that blender. And
I
then,
don't know. I mean, I'm not too keen on it, so I'm not gonna just claim that I
I've
know
never
everything
heard of
about
that. That's like
it. It's called HEK something, HEK7 or something, some sort of chemical that they make out of the fetuses.
Are you serious? You know what, dude?
Well, I mean, I was like, it's just.
You know what? Like, I'm just like,
It
I'm not
just-
saying, are you serious? That's what it is. I'm saying, are
Yeah.
you serious? There's a whole theory behind
There's
that.
a theory and there's a thing about natural flavor. That's why it's so obscure.
Okay, so like,
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like a pussy, but I kind of don't want to drink this anymore just because I don't want to drink aborted fetuses.
We gotta throw away all that Coca-Cola in your fridge too. And all.
Everything is aborted fetuses.
Everything
Oh,
has
shit.
natural flavor in it.
That is so wild to me.
Right?
But other than natural flavors,
Yeah.
everything else on this ingredient list, man, it's just,
It looks good.
it looks really good.
Mhm.
It's not like full of those crazy chemicals or fake sugars that you find in a lot of other carbonated drinks.
I can pronounce everything here.
That's important, man. You can clap out the syllables and everything.
Yeah.
All right, let's crack it open and give it a taste.
All right. Fantastic. You ready?
Ooh, what does that smell, man? Is that? It's like a vinegar.
Yeah, it smells like chickpea brine.
Chickpea brine. That's a.
No, I don't think it is.
You don't know it's.
I don't think it is. It just smells like it. Like I popped open a can of chickpeas.
You're tripping me out today, man. All right,
I'm
let me give it a
tripping
taste.
out. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Cheers.
Yeah. Thanks. Wow.
It does taste like chickpea brine.
That's alcoholic.
I guess.
Like barely. It's a 4.5% alcohol, but it doesn't taste like it, dude.
Yeah, I know. It really doesn't taste like anything.
It tastes kinda like
It's kinda
a-
like very lightly flavored.
You know what it actually this taste reminds me of like those dry type of wines. Like a like a really dry wine. I can't think of any wines. I don't know enough about them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what it reminds me of, dude. And it does kind of leave like a dry feeling in your mouth after you drink it.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. It's not like cotton mouth. Like I need to drink something right afterwards. It's just kind of like a film of dryness in the back of the throat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you're talking about like what kind of wines?
Dry wines, and I can't think of there's like certain wines that when you drink them, there's a dryness to them. Like they leave a dryness, like a dry kind of film in the back of your mouth or in your palate.
Okay.
So, excuse me.
Like those little wines that come in the little 4-packs?
It could be, yeah. I mean, if they sell them that way. No, man.
No. You're the guy. You're the alcohol guy. I don't really know much anything.
I'm not the wine guy though. No way, dude. But this is actually really good. It felt really good going down. There's no there's no heavy aftertaste. There's no bad film in my mouth, no bad. I don't know. It's just.
Yeah.
It's just, this is something I could really sip on to refresh myself. Honestly.
Yeah, and catch a quick buzz. I can finish this on the show. I can drink all 3 of these.
Yeah, dude. It's a drinking channel. Go to town, bro.
To you.
Yeah, you can keep whatever.
To us.
Whatever we don't drink, man, because I think there's 2 left in the box, but you can keep those if you want. So this have you ever had like a hard seltzer?
Yeah.
You know, there's like a big craze right now, like the White Claw and the Bon Vive or whatever they're called. Have you had those?
Yeah.
Are those also like gluten-free?
I'm not sure. I just started this gluten-free thing like recently.
This reminds me kind of that, but those to me have more of like an artificial taste. Whereas this definitely doesn't feel like an artificial kind of drink. Like it kind of feels like some shit that you can make at home. You know, if I had access to the kind of flavors that they were putting into this drink, because kombucha is like a lot of people do that, right? They make them at home, and
I actually think you can make, like, you personally. Yeah. You're capable. I think you have the tools, actually.
I have the fermenter and all that. And you know what, dude? If I could figure it out, I think I'd give it a shot.
I think you can, honestly. All you need is like fruit puree.
Is that what just fruit puree?
Yeah, black tea, fruit puree, and
puree.
Yeah,
I can't even fucking pronounce
puree.
Puree.
Puree. Yeah. Oh man, it's going to work now.
I can feel it going to work. Yeah.
I didn't eat breakfast.
What? Are you hungry, dude?
No, I'm in it.
Are you sustaining yourself through the oxygen right now?
We're gonna get it through the kombucha.
all right. Yeah, man, I dig it. So we're gonna gradually sip on these as we have some conversations. So like I talked about earlier, Johnny Boy, he used to live here in Yuma, and
White Town. White Town, what's up? I love to sit the Y.
I don't know how you do Y, bro. I've never thrown up for
Yuma,
my Yuma
right?
town. Yeah.
Bye.
So back in the day, we've always been close, I think. And then there was finally a point, I think in high school, early high school, where it's like, I think you introduced me to metalcore, because I was in a because I think I was in a point where I was listening to a lot of like Metallica, Lamb of God, like those heavier type of metals. Deftones, you know what? And so like our other cousin Giancarlo had me listening to a lot of that type of music, and we started a band. Me, because I play the guitar, and I don't know if I've talked about that, but you're hearing it here now. I started playing the guitar very young, and then I met up with my cousin Gian, who I hadn't seen for a long time, and we started jamming out together. And he's a fantastic drummer, really, really awesome drummer. He's an awesome musician all around. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he's doing like his own like music project right now. If I can find it, I'll put a link in the description of my YouTube channel, because he's really talented. Singing, guitar, drumming, he does it all. Even his own sound editing. So anyway, getting off topic.
Man, no, that's
so with him we
good
started
to hear, G.
So with him we started a project. It was just a guitar, bassist, and drummer, and we threw together songs that were similar, I guess, kind of to Deftones. It was kind of out there, kind of System of a Downish too, because we started out doing a lot of System of a Down Deftones covers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was like my first time performing music in front of people, was doing that kind of music.
That was like a high school band for sure. That was like a battle of the bands kind of band.
Yeah, that was back when I had my short spiky hair and the porn stash goatee combo.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
Baggy pants. That was oh man, the golden days.
Got me right there.
So anyway, so that went on for a little while. I think it was called like Knife Season. Knife Season, because it was like inspired by that. There's a song by the Deftones, I think, called Knife Party. Yeah, I think. So anyway, and then you started coming with us to go hang out with
Yeah, you guys had that first show in your garage.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, this shit's popping. Nah. Yeah, it was actually popping, because there was nothing else popping. And so it was actually popping. Yeah, so then I checked out the studio, and it was badass in there. And
then you kind of introduced me to a different type of music. Namely, like As I Lay Dying, early As I Lay Dying, like very early.
Man, bomb.
Like not too long after they were on that TV show, right, with Ozzy Osbourne. Isn't that where they started?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of like Headbangers Ball. Are you talking about that?
I don't remember what it was called, but it was like they were competing to get a contract or something, or
damn,
something like that along those lines. And I think that's where they came from. But it was not too long after that. Then Trivium, back when they were good. Like
they're still good.
Okay, so back when they were doing songs like
back
Headshot,
when it was metalcore though.
It was metalcore, like Headshot to the No, what was it called?
Gunshot
to the Head of Trepidation. Like Light to the Flies was one of my favorite. That was my jam for like ever, man.
Oh, they were killing it.
They were killing it. There was a totally different sound, and then from there, because of what you kind of led me, like you opened up a door, and then I kind of just dove headfirst into like everything else that had to do with it. And so we decided to put together a band.
Oh, it was the best.
We tried our hand in it, and so I don't know for you, that was the moment that you decided that music was definitely in your future.
I didn't decide. You know what? I didn't decide any of it. Like I just like kind of went with it. Okay. I kind of went with it the whole time. Like I felt like
you were just on board. Like this was an idea, and you were just kind of like, let's give it a shot, man.
Yeah, like working creatively was always like my passion. It was always, I just want to make worlds. I want to make gut biomes.
Gut biomes, I dig it.
Like everywhere, no matter what, I want to create a world. And I thought it was awesome that you guys let me in. Like it was such a like new, unestablished kind of project that you brought me in on. Yeah. So it gave me the opportunity just to play.
It was ours to do with whatever we wanted. Mm-hmm. You know, it was just, we built it from the ground up.
Yeah.
And that was everything. That was the name of the band, the direction of the music, and that changed drastically. And I think that's important because I think that had a lot to do with your next project, which I'll get into right now.
Yeah.
But so we started that, and I want to say, like, and this sounds crazy, but that was some of our first interactions with alcohol, right? Because we started talking about talent juice. I don't know if you remember talent juice.
It was the talent juice. That's how we were able to play. It's so terrible, like, looking back on that. Like, I need some talent juice.
Let's get in the studio, get some talent juice first, bro. What were we drinking? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was whatever was in his parents'
whatever was in the pantry.
Yeah, no, so we were drinking back then, if I can remember.
I can't remember.
I can kind of go back. You know, I honestly, I feel like, I don't know if it's because of you or if it's just because of everybody, but that beautiful, sweet, delicious, coconut flavored goodness, that Bacardi rum.
Oh, you know what? That was from my, dude, you were like making love to that bottle that weekend that I was getting married, right?
But it's come back in the past. If you look back in the past, the Bacardi bottle has always been there. Oh. Like a watcher. At all of our hangouts, yeah.
Just showing up at all these monumental points in your life.
Just showing up, like.
All right. Yeah, man. So we tried our hand at that, and we weren't really metalcore. I think when we first started, we were just kind of. We were just like, throwing shit together and.
Applecore.
You know what though? One of the first songs that we made. What was that one called? It was.
It was My Fist is Servitude.
Not that one. It was after that one.
Oh, I don't know. It was The Tyrant.
Was it The Tyrant? Is that what we called it?
You can ask Caleb Jones. He has all of our original tracks.
Does he really?
Yeah.
No.
Come on, Caleb's the man. You know Caleb. You know Caleb's gonna hold on to that. And then when it goes platinum, he owns the rights to it.
I got to reach out and ask him about that. Yeah. Anyway, like the songs were so different, but then we eventually got a little bit more inspired by metalcore. Like it was definitely having more of an impact on our lives because there was a sudden shift in the interest towards metalcore. Mm-hmm. It was suddenly like everywhere.
Everybody loved it. It was
so.
Cool. It's back in like 2007, 2006,
like 6 or 7, yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna skip past some details here, but there ended up being a
I got kicked out. I got soft kicked out.
It was like the softest.
Like it wasn't like necessarily like, hey man, actually, you know, you're fired. You got to leave and get your stuff out. It's just like, hey guys. Like,
we had reached a point where we ran into another vocalist for the band, so we were kind of rolling with 2 vocalists.
You ran into my good homie David.
David fucking Torado. And yeah, there ended up being some I'm gonna say creative differences that led to. I think it was the best thing that ever happened to you.
I think it was too, but at the same time too, I mean, it also gave me like a point of reference because David had the fucking sauce.
Dude, I don't know where that shit came from. I think I met him one time back when he was long hair, David, mm-hmm. and it was in guitar class, and I was playing for him the song that we had just written, and already he was kind of visualizing like himself on the vocals. I don't know where he got the vocals from. It must have been from you or...
No, the vocals were like, he was belting out the way he was belting out. Like, I think that's what it was. I actually remember when I got soft swapped out.
Do you really?
I do remember.
Let's talk about this.
I remember because I already felt it, and I was like, "Oh, this is how it happens, right?" It's like when you die before you die, and then you're just like, "Oh."
It's like Old Yeller in the cage, just kind of like, "Yep, that's
shotgun. It's already happened. I already know where it's going. It was a good one." It was when we were in the car and we were listening to Lamb of God. Okay. And then David hopped on. He hopped on with Randy, and that shit was just fire. And everybody would look, I remember, it wasn't actually everybody. Everybody was really impressed. Like, holy shit, that's really good.
Yeah.
But G...
You know what?
He was just like... David! I was like... And then that's when I knew. I was like, yeah, this is it, you know? But it also gave me a point of reference because at the time I didn't know anything about what I was doing.
Okay.
So it gave me an idea of like, okay, so this is actually the proper way to produce this type of sound.
Okay. Because you were just kind of freestyling it beforehand.
I was just yelling. I was just yelling. There was no technique. There was nothing.
You know, people bag on scream type, you know, like metalcore and death metal and all that stuff, but there is a real technique to it. Otherwise, you can really hurt yourself. Okay. You know, there's a way to do it to make it sound really good. And then there's a way to do it to get like throat cancer and shit like that. There's
a video on YouTube where like I forgot what it was. It's some YouTuber. He goes out to the shows and he's interviewing all these people, and he goes, a lot of people say screaming takes no talent. It's easy. Yeah. So he goes and he's like, okay, can you scream for me? And he has a bunch of people scream for him.
Yeah.
And not too many can actually reproduce the low, heavy guttural sound.
That sound's got to come from somewhere, and people think I think people default to the throat.
They do.
They just do like a straight throat scream, and that's definitely not the way you do it. I think that's how singers like who's the guy from Korn? Isn't that what happened to him? Didn't he get some kind of like infection or something? His throat got fucked up. Like he can't do it anymore, right?
Shit, I didn't know about that.
Was it Korn or was it Deftones too? I remember there being some like mainstream.
I think everybody gets hit with it at some point. I feel like a lot of them get hit with it, you know.
But you figured it out, man. You saw what David was doing. Eventually, it shifted to you being no longer part of the band.
Yeah.
And then not too long after that, you bounced back with a band that I liked more than my own band.
A band that you played for.
Yeah, actually. So we started out kind of as like a weird rock, then a metalcore, then a deathcore type band at Tears of Michael.
Deathcore,
hardcore hybrid.
Yeah.
And people liked us, man.
It was great.
We were a little popular for a little while. But I just, you know, I had kind of fallen out of love with it. And I think that's important for me to say now because that has a lot to do with I think your situation with your story. But we experienced it differently, you know, because you had a lot more writing, like a lot more invested than I did because I was just in a high school band. You were doing something totally different.
Yeah.
So I fell out of love with the music, and then I think you reached out to me to do some. To fill in, I think, because Napa was out of town, and I volunteered. Or you asked me to play some music for you guys while he was not able to do a show, and that kind of segued into me eventually joining the band, and that was the most fun I've had in a long time playing music in a band because it was the type of music that I fell in love with from the very beginning.
Thank you,
dude. I love that, and you guys kept true to that, and it wasn't like being how do you say? It wasn't being influenced by other people's opinions. You know, and I kind of felt like there was a point where we cared a lot more in Tears of Michael about what other people thought about our music than what we thought of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why that was so amazing to me. And I remember this. I loved being a part of. At first, it was called Forever Blessed, and then you guys changed the name to A New Challenger Approaches.
Yeah.
And I love that. I fucking love that. Even though I'm still kind of hurt about you guys not like picking up We Whisper Emmanuel.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, you know, there are so many other names and stuff like that too. Like, yeah, I mean, there are so many great names.
Yeah, there was, and so I remember the conversation. I remember you calling everybody up to go to Buffalo, and then you being in Buffalo and you making the announcement that like, hey man, we're taking this out of Yuma.
Yeah,
we're going to San Diego.
Well, funny story. That wasn't actually my idea.
Whose was it?
It was Napoleon's. And it's funny because you're actually part of this whole story. You're actually like one of the main little ingredients or catalysts that propelled the whole project forward.
What?
Oh, for sure. So check it. This is like the crazy thing is like when we were playing for. Oh, hello. Hey.
You move the mic, dude. If you just want to. Yeah, just move it around.
All right, guys. We're gonna tell the story of how the new challenger approaches. So it actually started. It was when you were playing with us.
Okay.
We were all playing for just the pure love, the pure joy of it, just to make something, just to create something, just to do something, just to express something. It was just because I have to do it, you know?
Right.
I have to dance because I have to dance. I have to paint because I have to paint. And I have to freaking bang my head because I have to bang my head.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Like, so we were doing it for these reasons. And it was very pure. And it was about that time that our guitarist, Napoleon, see a lot of the members in the band were, it was the only actual members of Forever Blessed, New Challenger, New Channel Approaches originally were me and Pablo.
Yeah.
Only two dudes who actually, were in it, made something.
Right.
Napoleon actually came quickly after because Pablo's brother thought it would be funny to sign us up for the Battle of the Bands.
Oh.
Because he's like, oh, you guys are in a band? Oh, that's cute. Well, I signed you up for the Battle of the Bands. Watch your band play shit. Like, real, I mean...
Trial by fire, dude.
He's a real asshole.
Yeah.
Like, if we got to be honest about it. Oh, man. He's cool, though. But he did that to us. And so me and Pablo were like, oh, crap. You know what I mean? Here it goes. And so it's game time. We did have a few songs we were writing. Pablo's playing drums. I was playing guitar and writing lyrics. And it's like, it was not the best, but we were producing, creating something. We were just making something out of what we had.
Yeah.
And so we went and we were attending church at the time. And the church guitarist, Napoleon, he was really good and efficient. He actually liked metal too. But
when you say church guitarist, like there's a band that did music in the middle of like sermons or something? Or?
Yeah, like at like Christian churches and stuff. Like they would like kind of play music before and then they play music after.
Okay.
Kind of thing, like church songs.
My Catholic experience is the people that sit up top in the choir and Amen.
I know, right? Imagine Napoleon played for that.
Amen. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, he doesn't even have a beard yet. He doesn't even have a beard yet.
Oh, I remember Babyface Napo, dude.
That's what I'm saying. That's how crazy. Like, that's how
shit.
far back it goes.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
even have a beard yet. Fuck. He hasn't even evolved into his most evolved form yet.
Okay.
Which he's still evolving. And
Yeah.
We're all. And at that time, he was, so his interests were like not really there. He only accepted because he wanted to help us out. And we picked up our bassist.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy like that, though. Like, if you need help, he'll go out of his way. He'll come through for you.
He comes through for sure.
Okay.
And, he came through and he's like, okay, well, I'll do it once, and he wasn't like, he learned. Our first practice we had together was that same day of the Battle of the Bands in my garage. I taught everyone the songs that week on bass and guitar and said, here, these are the 3 songs. This is how we play them. And then we all played them together as a band the day before.
Okay.
Or the day of. And then we went and we went to the Battle of the Bands and we thought it was going to be shit. And the reaction was a lot better than we had thought. It was actually, a pit broke out, huge pit. People were having a good time.
Were you guys the only ones of your genre? Like
no, you guys played.
This was Battle of the Band San Luis?
What's up, homie?
Oh.
You guys won.
I was.
You guys That's when you first saw us.
That's right. That is it's all coming back to me now, dude. That was your first performance.
It was funny too, because I remember G had reached out to me. I'm gonna call you out, G, because I love you. G had reached out to me and he had I remember he laughed because he thought it was so rich that I was gonna play and he couldn't wait to see what was gonna happen.
Oh fuck.
You fucking asshole. I love you though. I love you.
Yeah.
You're family.
That's so great, dude.
But that's like, I was like, oh man. And I didn't know if we had shit.
I remember being in the audience and thinking like, this is my favorite thing. Like, I was so fucking happy with the music, the way that it sounded, and the way you sounded. You were totally different. I'm not gonna lie, dude. So I hadn't heard your new sound, like the way that you were screaming at that point.
Yeah.
Like until that day. So in my head, you still sounded like.
Well, that's what G's hearing.
That's what she. So like in my head, I was like, I wanted you to do your best. I wanted you to succeed, but I was kind of worried. I'm not going to lie, just because I wasn't sure if you had actually improved on your technique. Because I remember we had a conversation. I think we were texting, or I had called you, and you said like, yeah, you know, like I'm starting to sound more like, I think it was a singer of Trivium at the time, the way his sound was and his music. Oh, nice. I think you were saying that you were trying to aim for a sound like that. And in my head, I was like, he's not going to do it. He's a
right.
I don't remember what this guy sounded like. No fucking way. And then I heard you that day, and I was blown away, dude. I was just I was actually worried in my head. I kind of thought that like you guys were going to blow us out of the water, bro.
Oh man, no, you guys just still had the. You know what you guys killed it with?
What's that?
Y'all synced it up.
Oh, so we did a whole week of just headbang practice, man. Like we had the music so much down that we were doing like it was kind of choreography at that point.
You guys had that 98 degrees metalcore thing going on right there.
I did like 4 buttons down my flannel.
Right.
Yeah, I was pointing at all the females.
Right, you guys had like fans in front of you just blowing wind right there.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, that was a trip. So after that first show, you guys decided that you guys just sound good together and you guys want to keep it going?
Well, it was interesting. Like after that, we were like, holy crap, okay, cool, we did it, it's over. And we're like, I think someone reached out for us to play another show. And then we asked Napoleon, and Napoleon was like, damn, he wasn't thinking about doing it like longer than that, but he enjoyed it.
He had fun, huh?
Fuck yeah, he had fun. Because he never done it, and it was the first time, and he was just like, damn, like I just played metal into a crowd, people were headbanging and freaking moshing, like this is the real deal. So he was on board. It pulled us. Like it wasn't really like we tried to make it happen. It was more like just like, okay, play the show, and then we just go and play the show, and we were literally playing the same 3 songs, and we're just playing music, and eventually it just came that we kept doing it, and it kept growing and growing. And this ended up turning out how you came part of it actually growing and expanding to whatever it became.
Okay.
Still, we were growing up. We were just finishing up high school. Napoleon had already been finished with college. He had already had his degree. He was already going to get a career.
Okay.
And this was just something he did on the side. Well, we were all going through life, depression and different things like that. Like, I mean, everyone gets it. Like, yeah. Let's be real. Like, it's rough, being inside your mind alone. But, that's where things get taken care of and done. So, Napoleon, he was apt to quit the band. Like he was on such a low that he was going to quit the band. So that's when we were playing with you at the time, right?
Is this after I had joined?
Yeah, you had joined, and we were playing Kennedy Park, right?
Okay.
And Napoleon had with no one. He was not answering my phone calls. He was answering Pablo's phone calls, and you called him, and you're like, "Hey, what's up?" And he answered for you.
Okay.
And you told him, "Hey, man, like I don't know what you're going through, whatever, yada yada, but you need to get your ass over here because we have a show to play." You told him that.
Oh.
Napoleon showed up to the show. This was like the most lit Kennedy Park show. Like, let me remind you guys, like the shows that we're playing are at a park, like on picnic tables. Like it's like nothing glorious.
There's a community softball field to our left and a community pool to our right, I think.
Yeah.
And then right in between is a small patch of grass with a ramada.
That's it.
And that was the venue.
That's the venue,
Yeah.
There's like 200 people.
Yeah, it was
beastly.
It was a very beastly park show.
They were waiting for Napoleon to show up.
Yeah.
Well, they don't know they're waiting. They're waiting for New Challenger or for Forever Blessed.
We were waiting.
But we were waiting for Napoleon to show up, and when you called him, you made him get up and go. Like he just like, fine. He was gonna finish his commitment. Yeah. And after he arrived, I remember, because he told me afterwards that was like, it was so impactful for him to see all those people that they wanted this. Like,
yeah, because it wasn't just regular like you were going to a park to listen to loud music and bang your head around. Like it was an experience with you guys. And that's why, huh? With us. Forgive me, I forget that I was a part of that. But it kind of was. It was given because you guys were Christian metalcore, and in a lot of ways, it was kind of like going to church.
It was going to church. It's how church should be.
Yeah, and you know what? People were into it. Because there were points in your songs where it'd slow down. Mm-hmm. It would slow down. It'd be like take a breath, and you would have something to say. Either you would break out a Bible and read directly from it, or you would just have something to say, and people listen, brother. They close their eyes. They kind of move back and forth. It was a moment where you really
connected with him outside of the music, and then we got right back into the music.
And I think that was like always like my the one thing, like because I don't think I subscribe to the Christian ideology anymore, religion, but I love it as like a, it's like there's like this lyric from this song by Darpan, and it's there's many rivers, but the ocean is just one.
Okay. Oh, I see. Oh shit.
Nice. Yeah, right.
That's awesome.
So no matter what river you choose, you remember it's all ocean, it's all water, and whatever can keep the water flowing that's what matters, really. Understanding that, and there's the love, really. Like I would always like read out or like speak out about unity and love, and I think that's like most important. I think what we were doing was we were creating community and supporting our community, and so people would come together, and we would have fun together and remind them that they're supported and that we're here for each other. I think that's really that's really where it comes back down to, is like
and it wasn't like you guys were just packing up and then taking off. Like you guys hung out. You supported the shit out of the other bands. I remember that. Even if they weren't very good. Because I was, at the time, I was very critical of local performances. I was to a point where I was letting people know, like, dude, you're not that good.
You're good at that.
I was like, dude, this like straight up sucks. Like, you need to do something about it, because people are probably just, here to support you because they feel sorry for you. I was kind of a dick that way, but I didn't want to like pussyfoot around the idea. I didn't want to encourage someone to continue to do mediocre work.
That's absolutely true.
So, and I think I brought some of that with me when I first joined you guys, because I remember at first I was kind of critical of a couple of the people that were in the band. That's not to say I didn't love them to death.
Mm-hmm, yes.
But when it came down to the music, it was just like, it was a taskmaster-ish kind of a personality that I had at the time, which
most certainly
I kick myself in the ass about it sometimes.
Half and half, because I think all the roles are important.
Okay.
I think every role is important, like, even if some people deem it like kind of like an asshole role. It's like,
right.
Like it's still there for a reason. It's still an archetype for a reason.
So, Napo comes out to play that show at Kennedy. He kind of figures out that this is what he wants to do. Like, he feels more encouraged to pursue the life of a guitarist in a metal band.
Yeah.
And so, what was the point that you guys decided that Yuma's not the place to do this? That this is actually like, we can make a life out of this, and we need to pursue a dream.
Well, it's summer. I just graduated high school, and Napoleon ends up reaching out, and it really opened his eyes to like, this could actually happen. This could be a real thing, and I could probably make it work.
Yeah.
And he reaches out to us and says, "Hey guys, I think that we should move to a bigger city and try to establish ourselves there and make contacts and make it happen." I mean, we really don't know what we're doing at all, but that seems like the move, and he suggests that we should do that. And I don't have anything going on,
I mean, Pablo was kind of on the same boat, right?
Pablo's on the same boat, you know what I mean? It's like, we don't really have anything going for us,
Yeah.
And so we abandon ourselves to it, and we say, okay, why not?
Yeah.
Let's give it a shot, and from there we all kind of just did everything, like, sold, like I sold my car, I got a van, we pretty much saved up money, we got rid of all of our old gear, sold all of our old gear, and just moved in together, and in San Diego, and started to save up and get professional gear and put the professional face forward, 100 on everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't one of those that you could have just taken your did you guys have you had a half cab, right? Before you?
No, we didn't have any real gear. Like, we actually borrowed a lot of gear, and none of it was really like
a half cab is is an amplifying device for your guitar. It's like a 4 or 5 foot tall amplifier with like a headpiece that adjusts the sounds to it. And I remember one of the proudest things in my life was buying my own half cab.
You still have it?
I don't have it, dude. I sold it to you. Remember Juan?
Yeah.
I think I sold it to him.
Man,
I used to love that thing. But it was cool. It was one of those default things that you needed to play a show. But when you're talking about the shows that you guys were doing, you need a little bit more than just a half cab, right?
Yeah. Well, now that we're in the future now, all he needs a Kemper.
A Kemper?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, it like kind of produces like whatever sound you want.
Really?
Yeah, and you kind of just.
I'm so out of touch with like the way that I remember what it was like being in a band 10 years ago. I don't know.
You can still use half stacks. They're still good.
Yeah.
Still good. But you really don't, like, for all the sound and stuff like that. You can have someone just plug it in directly.
Nice.
Yeah, you can.
Well, that's kind of cool.
You can kind of scale everything down now. You can. That's what we ended up doing later on, because we scaled it big, because we were playing a lot of shows where you needed to punch sound out.
Yeah.
Like at the park, like you have to. There's no sound system.
Oh,
man.
no,
You have to
yeah.
punch out sound, which is good, you know. But then afterwards, like we started scaling it down, because it's like we have all this big ass gear, and it's like we're playing all these. There's all these, you know, venues now that they're just gonna put us through the system. So
Right.
you know, load a lot less now, save us some time. So
Did you finish your hibiscus lime?
I did. Did you?
Dude, you know what? So I got a lot of that lime flavor hanging out in my mouth. I love that, dude. I don't know about hibiscus. I can't really say what a hibiscus tastes like.
Jamaica, isn't it Jamaica?
Is it Jamaica?
I think it is, man.
Is Jamaica Spanish for hibiscus?
I think so.
No.
I'm not sure, but I think it is. I'm almost like 99.100%.
Dude, you're blowing my
I'm not
fucking
sure
mind
though.
right now, bro.
I think it is though. I'm not sure.
Are you feeling a little bit of a buzz?
I'm feeling like I want to pop open one of these hints of ginger. How are you on yours?
Dude, I finished. I finished a while ago.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So
Break time?
so we're taking a break from so we're getting to where John Anthony got it to San Diego. So before we crack open the next one, I want to say I love hard kombucha. It produces a buzz if that's what you're looking for, but it's also not too heavy. I don't feel bloated. If anything, like I'm getting gassy, but it's like I'm clearing out.
Very nice.
You know what I mean? Like I'm getting some stuff out of my system. So
Nice.
so it feels good. It feels refreshing. I get a buzz without that guiltiness of like puffing up. You know, my gut biome.
In that gut world.
My gut world is being cleansed right now, brother.
Right? The gut biome's crazy, bro.
It's like part of a multiverse. It's its own universe in there, brother.
Because it controls your mind.
Fuck, dude. Okay, I'm gonna pick it. Chill. We're gonna get to all
right?
that stuff later. All right, so I'm gonna let you pick the next flavor. Oh, let me just say, hibiscus lime of the three, I will say hibiscus lime. It's gonna be hard to top that. It is such a refreshing flavor with the lime aftertaste. It's so good. It is ridiculously refreshing.
It is good.
I'm not a huge fan of ginger
Okay.
on its own, and I'm not a huge fan of grapefruit on its own. But one of my favorite beers is a grapefruit beer, so I'm hopeful on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Do you happen to know? And I'm not sure, and I'll have to get back to you guys. But is there hop additions to kombucha beer? You know what I'm saying? Like, because fermented kombucha on its own produces alcohol. Mm-hmm. But then to make it a hard kombucha, do you add hops?
I don't know.
I mean, it wouldn't say in the ingredient list, right? I'm kind of curious. Maybe there's some that do include hop additions, and maybe there's like kombucha ales. I'm so like,
yeah.
I know nothing of kombucha beer.
I know it's a wild journey. I mean, we're gonna go deep in this journey.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely would recommend that if you're trying to watch what you're drinking, if you're not trying to get all the hoppiness, all the earthiness, and all the weight of drinking a regular beer, go for a hard kombucha, man. That stuff is really good. It's got a little bit of a vinegary taste and aftertaste. Like all around, there's a little bit of vinegar, but it's not too overwhelming. It's really drowned out by the lime in this flavor. But we're going to try these other two, and I'm going to let you pick the next one, man. Do you want to try ginger tangerine or pink grapefruit?
I'm going to be honest with you. Well, I think grapefruit, because you're more partial to grapefruit. And
Okay.
if we just finish it off on ginger and you don't like it, it's cool.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But you can probably smash a grapefruit.
all right. Let's give this.
All right, guys. Here we go.
That actually sounded so awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what it is, man.
I really want to drink it now. Holy shit.
It's sensuality for your ears.
Oh, yeah. There's that smell. You smell shit, dude. Oh. All right. Let's give it a shot.
Right? Oh, cheers.
Cheers. Oh, yeah. That is super heavy in the grapefruit flavor.
Yeah, that's coming out.
Yeah. It's not terrible, though.
It's coming at me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not like 100% the bitterness of biting into a grapefruit. You know,
Yeah.
It's still got that. It's a little bit muted. It's like a, I don't know. If grapefruit was like Super Saiyan 3, this is like a Super Saiyan 1 grapefruit, right?
For sure, right?
Yeah, it's like not ultra powerful.
He's just reaching his potential.
All right. So that's really tasty. So we'll sip on this gradually, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it after we get to
the next step in Jonathan's life.
Man, right.
San Diego.
Right. So we got there.
Okay.
Oh, and so we picked up some guys. Well, we always had Tito. Tito was always on board.
Yeah,
We
Tito
had
was the
Shorty.
bassist.
Tito was the bassist.
I don't think we've talked about him the whole time that we've talked about your band.
Oh, Tito's is just freaking great.
Sorry, brother. If you end up watching this, we never forgot you.
You
We
never forgot Tito. Tito's like,
Tito
man,
was
Tito's
man.
the special human being. You know,
There was no way that you
make
could
people
carry
like it.
you couldn't carry a bad mood around Tito, right? Like if you were having a shit day, but then you started hanging out with Tito, it's like, fuck, I can't have a shit day.
Tito brings the best out of everyone.
He does,
He's
man.
around. Like he never causes any beefs. He never. I don't know.
He caused nothing but smiles, man.
He really does.
He made you smile about everything.
Yeah.
Everything was just such a trip, and everything was such a enjoyable thing.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
exudes so much just raw sexuality.
Yeah. Maybe because I didn't live with him, I didn't have that. but so it was you, Tito, Pablo, the drummer, and then Napo.
And Shorty. And Bobbert.
Shorty, I forgot about.
The most important character, Bobbert. And with the Shorty, too. Shorty was
If
part
you had
of
to
it.
describe Bobbert's role in a new Challenger approaches, how would you describe it?
Wingman.
Wingman.
Bobbert winged it. Like, hella, I don't know. Bobbert's this energy of his own. Like, Bobbert is actually the most selfless person I've ever met. And
Okay.
on the whole journey of, like, being in a band and be like, if you could say, like, who was the glue, he was not even a member of the band. He was actually our merch guy. We fired him within months of but he still was our roommate. Because he was just getting blitzed at the shows, and then he wasn't doing merch. He was just drunk, like, you know, meandering throughout the venues and not really doing his job. So we're like, Bobbert, like, you can come to shows, but, like, we're just not going to leave you in charge of the merch anymore because, you know, like, you're drunk, you're being mean to our customers.
Oh, no, dude.
Yeah. Oh, man. He's real sassy and just, I mean, he's a great personality.
No, shit.
So we had him and Shorty. Shorty was real, like, very particular individual. You know, like to do things the way he did,
Yeah.
and very
It was like a strong personality in the.
very strong personality. But what I will say about him is that he performed like a motherfucker.
I do remember that. He did the high kicks and the...
This guy freaking play harder than anyone. I
Yeah.
knew. He was badass. So that was Shorty, and that's how he'd get down, and
So-
we all would get out there together.
So when you first got there, it wasn't like you showed up in San Diego and you had a show lined up.
Hell no, we're nobody.
So you guys just got jobs?
We just got jobs. We all worked, and we just saved up money to get this gear.
Okay.
Once we got the gear right, we opened ourselves up to play a show.
So how did you go about doing that? Did you have to get in touch with somebody like at Soma San Diego, or did you just find another band that was local and get to know them? Like how did you go about getting your foot in the performing aspect of San Diego?
I'm not sure. I don't remember if we reached out, if they reached out to us, because we were like on Facebook already.
Okay.
But what I do remember was that it was a very small show. And it was at a boba shop.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was at a boba shop.
Hey man.
Yeah, and we played with this band. I think they were called Map the World at the time. I remember the homies Felipe and Kieran were in that band, I believe. And they were, I mean, it was badass. Like, that was the first show. No one knew who we were, and we were all just out there. And shit, even Bobbert did lights. He was our light guy.
Was he drunk as shit? Was he blitzed as shit doing your lights, or
He was on stage doing our lights.
during the show, or what?
Yes, during the show.
What?
Yeah, it was the funniest shit ever. Like, we all set up our gear, and we're like, Bobbert, okay, it's time to get the light stuff set up. He set up his light gear, but he set that shit up right next to everybody. So we're, you know, like how a keyboard player plays when they're getting down. He was like playing the strobe, and he's getting down.
No way.
Yes way.
Hey man, that's a performance. I respect the
that's
shit out
badass.
of
Like
that.
you never see that anywhere.
That's unique. All right.
We had fun. We always try to have a lot of fun.
So did you get somebody's attention? Like after that show, like somebody said, like, "Hey, these guys can throw it down. Like, let's get them some more shows." Or did you have to go and kind of like wiggle your way into another show?
No, like after that, like shows kind of just come, like people kind of just, you know, oh, we hear you're in a band. Afterwards, I kind of learned how the game works, and there's a game. Sometimes there's a game, but a lot of promoters, they seek out a lot of bands because they want you to sell like advance tickets, and then they try to get you to pay off whatever you don't sell. It's kind of like a shiesty type of
Wow.
game.
Yeah, that sounds. What the fuck?
A lot of shiest. You
Okay.
know. So I mean, we got caught up in that for a little bit, but we were always just trying to play shows and trying to avoid the shiest for sure. But you know, we were just in it and we were doing it, and I think as we went on and on, you know, things were good and we were advancing. You know,
You guys came out with your own album.
we came out with an EP. So
EP.
that was, see, that was good. That was we had just we had these songs recorded, so we went to Lambisa Studios, and we ended up recording with Daniel Castleman. We recorded like a 5-song EP, or a 3-song demo, and then we later recorded like a 5 or 6-song EP.
Okay.
And we just kind of rolled off of that for like our music for the most part. Like,
Okay.
And that we played those songs and we pushed that for like a good chunk of time.
All right. And then what happened? Obsidian Empire happened.
Mm-hmm, yeah, that was
After
our
that,
first single. That was our first single from the demo.
Okay.
So we ended up shooting a music video with this director. His name was Matisse, and he plays for a band now called The Plot in You. He's a drummer for that band, and he's just absolutely incredible director. It was like one of his first videos, and I mean, he's just so badass.
Okay.
Like, he knew exactly what he was doing, so he shot the hell out of that video, and it was out of control. It was just the level of professionalism that we needed to kind of like say, hey, this is who we are.
But prior to that single,
Uh-huh.
you guys had a unique sound. It was a kind of metalcore sound, but it was also a little different. It was a little harder. You know?
Yeah.
It was a little heavier in a lot of places, and then it would go soft sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like appropriate. It wasn't like a weird contrast kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was like it worked well with the song. But Obsidian Empire came out. It was a totally different sound, brother.
It was a different sound.
And was that on purpose?
Well, actually, I enjoyed the writing process of that. There's this writing process that we use that I appreciate. And Pablo would write the drums first, and then he would give it to the guitarist.
Okay.
So the guitarist could figure out how he wants to write to Pablo's drums. And I really enjoyed that approach because Pablo just knows how to make the rhythm flow, right? Napoleon's also really good at making groove. Like, Napoleon can groove like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I remember working with Napo. He's a really, really talented musician,
Mm-hmm.
and really creative. But Pablo, I have to say, like, he stands on his own where drummers are concerned. He was wasted on Yuma. So definitely the move to San Diego was very smart.
Pablo's such an asset. Like, if anyone can get a Pablo in their life, like,
Go for it.
Fucking made it. Like, you don't have to worry about anything. Like, he's so in tune with his own creativity, and what he can produce is incredible. Like, I mean, even now, I mean, he hasn't said anything, but I mean, I probably shouldn't spill the beans, but he's working on his own music, and it's nowhere near any metalcore or anything like that.
Oh, really?
It's absolutely phenomenal.
No shit.
Yeah,
I'd have to hear that.
great.
I can't picture him outside of the, because he like melted into those drums when it came to the shows, man. He was a totally different beast. He's the sweetest guy you'll ever meet in your life. Soft spoken, sweet little man. But when he got on those drums in a show, fuck, man.
He's a monster.
Yeah, he would hulk out like so much.
It was awesome.
It was really
great.
awesome to watch. But so when it came to the sound of Obsidian Empire, were you guys kind of influenced to change up your sound a little bit from your EP?
I think at that point, like, at least from like my perspective, where my perspective is, and this is kind of like where the journey is. Like, if I had to like, it's like put like an over, like, you know, arcing message or whatever. Like, it's like growing up and figuring out what's right for you and what you want to do. And I think that was like one of the things. Is I think I kind of like hung out, and that's the thing, I hung out on the sidelines a lot, and just, you know, I don't think I necessarily, at that point, I was just I was fixated on trying to produce this result of like making it into something, and so that's where my focus was at the time, you know. And this is where we get into, like, you know, the band, you know, it's a relationship, you know, and there's so many,
I mean, that's 5 personalities that have to be on the same page to make something work. So from there, I think I was vocal about it with you, letting you know that your sound was changing.
Yeah.
That's not to say that was in a bad way at
Yeah,
the
yeah,
time, but it was just it just wasn't what I was used to anymore.
Yeah.
Because your EP was one of my favorite things to kind of work out to when I was going to the gym a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Red Scarf is still to this day one of my favorite metalcore songs.
Oh, rad!
Yeah.
Hey, thank you.
But
That was like the last song I wrote.
what was it? Oh, shit. So Obsidian Empire happens, and then I think you guys came out with 2 or 3 more singles after that.
Yeah, we had a couple singles, and so that was kind of it. Like
You were really heavy in dealing with big time people in the recording industry, like in the music industry, weren't you?
There were some cool people. Like I would say like one of the greatest things that I ever received on this journey was, I don't even think it was necessarily like put out this way, like this was the intention of it, but it was mentorship, and I think I received a lot of mentorship on this journey.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits to that.
There's a lot of benefits to that. Like at the time we had been getting mentorship from a tour manager. His name was Mike Spears, and he didn't owe us anything. He didn't have to do anything. It was actually my hairstylist. She got us in touch.
What was his background like? What was his resume like?
He worked with Metallica and Deftones and Judas Priest and all these.
And then suddenly he's Johnny Boy's friend.
He's Phoebe's friend. And I'm Phoebe's friend.
Right.
Phoebe goes, man, she's like, I wish I could help you with your band. I know a guy who works with bands. You should talk to him.
Hey.
And she gave me his number, and she told him, and he's like, okay, I'll see what's up. And he actually listened to us, and he said, well, he's like, let's see what you got. So he accompanied us on our journey, and he would always give us insight in how music industry works and how to work better in the music industry. He wouldn't hold our hand, but he would definitely guide us and assist us, as well as other members of the music industry. Jordan Mancino, he played drums for As Lay Dying and Woven War, and he would also give us great insight and, advice and really...
But would you say that advice had a lot to do with what the differences of opinion that happened, like going down the road between you and the other people in the band?
No, actually, to be honest, there were certain times where we get advice from that. Like Mike would always say, like, he's like, what really matters is how long can you stay together. Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah, like
this is super. Like, how would you say? Like, it's very driven by the people, and it's like their personalities and their emotions and stuff like that. Like, it's not just music.
It's wild.
The music is just like the final product, right? Everything else that goes into it before that is a totally different beast.
Everybody is an ingredient.
Yeah.
And you need all those ingredients to make that flavor. But if nobody wants to cook that dish, and say someone wants to cook a different dish, well, you got to figure out how you guys are going to make a compromise, or figure out what you're going to cook and what's going to get cooked, And that's the hard part. But for everybody, but we need all these ingredients in the pantry. We need all these ingredients. Because if one of them leaves, if you lose your garlic powder, well, you're gonna cook some stuff and it's gonna taste different.
Okay.
And I think that was the thing, is like knowing that everybody, it's not just one person. It's like everybody's contributing, but it's like also at the same time, it's like, well, what are we cooking? Because like I don't want to eat stew every day.
Okay.
Stew's delicious.
You get tired of it eventually.
You might get tired of it though.
Yeah.
And so this is how we play that game.
So while all this is going on, you guys started out as a primarily metalcore band with a very unique sound, and it's my favorite sound when it comes to that kind of music.
Thank you.
But definitely you guys changed it up. Opportunities were still presenting themselves to you.
Yeah, we were playing a lot of shows.
You guys did some Vans Warped Tour.
Yeah, we
did it twice, right?
Yeah, we did our city, San Diego date, and those were cool. The first one we were in a competition, and it was judged by Dave Shapiro. And he's like the guy that books all the bands,
Okay.
And he watched it, and he made his call, and then we got to play the first time. No, the first time was actually because of Hot Topic. We won like a Hot Topic competition.
Oh, okay.
Or no, it wasn't. Was it Hot Topic or was it something else? No, I think it was Ernie Ball. The first one was Ernie Ball.
Okay.
And then and then Dave Shapiro was the next one, and that helped us we played, you know, a couple huge local shows, and then we were able to play the San Diego dates. So it was really cool to be able to be there and participate in those, and to be able to have those experiences. And yeah, and then we just kept playing, and and from those, actually it was through Shorty we met our manager at the time, Gino Scarum, and he worked with bands like.
You guys had a manager?
Yeah, we had a manager. He worked with For the Fallen Dreams, Bless the Fall, Born of Osiris.
Oh, wow.
Amity Affliction. So Gino's the man. He has a heart of gold.
Okay.
And you know, he was managing us at the time, but later in our band's career, he started to assist us in that, and it was good. You know, it was good. It was good, but as time went on, you know, I think what really stifled maybe the musical project was the lack of creativity. It became more about focusing on like getting somewhere than the actual like having fun on the drive to there.
Okay. So like earlier I spoke about how I kind of fell out of love with Tears of Michael, being that it was more about pleasing everyone else except for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And especially me, because I had fallen out of love with the music.
Yeah.
Would you say that that was kind of the same mindset? Like it became more of a commercial thing than like a personal thing? Like you guys are more just thinking, what are people going to, you know, what sound is it that people will buy, you know, if they hear it, you know, like if you're thinking about selling T-shirts and CDs and stuff like that, instead of making the music that you initially fell in love with.
Yeah, I think
is that kind of what your experience was towards the end?
Yeah, it definitely became more about like, let's figure out how we can get all this stuff done, instead of like, let's figure out how we can write the greatest rock opera of our day.
Right. God, I love rock operas.
Right.
So then this eventually led to you walking away from the project, or you guys all mutually walking away from the project?
No, it ended up eventually leading to me walking away from the project.
Okay.
And as a result, everything else kind of fell apart and disbanded from there.
Okay. So how many years were you guys in San Diego?
Oh, shoot. Like a big handful. 2 handfuls.
Two handfuls, huh?
2 big handfuls of years. Yeah.
Because, God, what was it, like 7 or 8 years?
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, yeah.
It was that long,
So, like,
huh?
like out of touch, out of connect.
You came back a California boy, dude.
Oh, word?
Yeah,
Why,
you're totally different. No, no, just everything was just different, brother.
Oh, nice.
But it was good. It was
cool.
It was,
As long as the flavor still tastes good.
Yeah, I remember. I think I ran into you one time that I was in San Diego. You were working at, was it Plant Power?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that you were just like so skinny compared to.
Because I started eating vegan, and you just can't gain weight on that.
So I didn't know that, like when I first saw you, because I think I was working at the jail at the time, or had just got done working at the jail at the time.
Uh-huh.
And the way you looked reminded me of a lot of the people that were like strung out on meth and like forgetting to eat for weeks, for weeks at a time.
I eat so much, man. Like I eat a ridiculous. Seriously, I have to tell everybody. I gotta tell the world about plant-based. If it's hard to lose weight or anything, like, just go plant-based. Just go vegan try it out. Go vegan for a month. Go vegan for.
But you can still get fat on vegan, right? Like
you can still get fat on vegan, but the thing is, like, it's gonna be harder. It's just gonna be harder to gain that weight as fast as if you're eating conventional meat and dairy.
Are vegan, like vegan-based things, are they higher in carbohydrates?
I'm sure there's a lot more carbs.
Because if you were doing like a high-protein diet, which is like low carbohydrates, would you think that, you know, you'd lose weight faster on that than doing just plant-based?
No, I think plant-based, because plant-based contains all the nutrients. That's where you get all your vitamins from.
Okay.
It's all in the plants. The plants are here, baby.
I'm a beer guy, not a fucking, you know, micronutrient guy. So I you know, I'm not 100% sure, but I find that very interesting because I'm trying to lose weight. You know, I fell in love with beer hard.
It fell in love with you.
It did. we have an ongoing relationship right now.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely trying to shed. And I think hard kombucha might be my answer, man.
Dude, it might be like this
because I'm riding a pretty decent buzz, having only been like a can and a half into these 4.5% alcohol kombuchas.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. It's refreshing, and I'm burping a lot, dude.
They're nice buzzes, right?
They are.
They are.
It's not guilty buzzing either.
No, definitely not. This is not like when I used to drink that Old English. Hey, it was
Whatever, man.
man. That was back in the day.
So talk to me a little bit about what it's like now that you stepped away from such a big music project.
Well, so this is what went down. So I started falling fast from the music thing. This is where we start getting into some like crazy, some fucking real stuff. So it was like near the end, like I think the band, we had already had one issue where we were going to break up before, and then it was already kind of like we were on the rocks a little bit.
Okay.
But we still kept going because no matter what, like, no matter all the bullshit that you get, like being in a band or being in the situations or whatever, or just stupid stuff, you can release all your tension, anxiety, anguish, anger, hurt, pain, joy, love, fucking, I don't know, just all this wild psychological.
Beautifully said.
You can release that on stage playing music.
I 100% agree with you. There was nothing like, even though I was performing for crowds that are maybe a tenth of the size, maybe even less than you were. But it wasn't about the size of the show.
Yeah.
It was just like the emotion, like the feeling that you get, like really putting it out there and making that sound. And then you're also hearing it all come together. There's a satisfaction in that.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it was stress relieving to make music, but when you're hearing the final product and you're really immersing yourself into performing that for other people, and you're beating the shit out of those strings, or you're beating the shit out of those drums, or you're shouting into the mic, like you're really, really getting out. It's like a car wash for your soul.
Yes. Well, it's necessary for people to express like cathartic movements.
Yeah.
Like your brain is gonna try to like. There's so much like ideas and I don't know, just too much mind. Too many mind. And you have to release that mind through the body, because the body is the subconscious mind. It's the representation of what's going on in the mind.
Okay.
And that's why the mind-body-spirit complex should be unified as one. Harmony in your body will equate harmony in your mind, will equate harmony in your spirit, harmony in your mind. They're all connected. Yeah. So it's like one of those... They all have to be within equilibrium. So it's like every day, what are you doing to keep balance and harmony in your mind, in your body, and in your soul, or what I would like to refer to as emotions. Emotions are the soul for me. So emotionally, mentally, and physically, continuing to keep that balance, you know. And sometimes when there's too much going somewhere, like too much in the mind, too much stress, anxiety, tension, anger, you have to release it through the body. The body has to release all that for the mind.
So what does that look like for you now that you're not in a band anymore?
Well, this is what happened. I ended up going back to my roots. Like, before I started any of this, I was always on a martial arts journey.
I remember you were a black belt, right? With your father's school?
Yeah.
Kaiju Kempo.
Well, it
was Wushu Kung Fu, right?
Wushu Kung Fu, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it was, me and him, it was actually, that journey even started before my father. Like, he actually we went on the journey together.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, so when he started learning, he learned way back in the past, but when he started learning Wushu Kung Fu, that's when I started learning alongside him.
Okay.
So I'd go to the kids class, he'd go to adult class, and we just started growing and building together. And then once he started his own practice, that's when I assisted him in his practice. And that, there's something about that, like, I don't know what it is. It's just like this discipline that, like, it's just this constant cultivation. I think that's really what matters in the human experience for me at this point right now. Music is still like a great place for me. I still love it, and I'm still pursuing it. I'm still doing it. Maybe not even pursuing it. I'm just still experiencing it.
Okay.
But it's that sense of growth, because life wants to it wants to grow and it wants to expand. Life wants to have more life.
Yeah,
life. Just look at nature, how that works. You know, it just wants to grow and expand, and that's how we are as human beings. We're life. The universe is created of. There are two. The universe is created out of two things. It's life and mind.
Okay.
It's form and energy. The expression and it's the form. So basically, we want to grow and we want to express, and that is our goal here on this planet.
So how are you? What does growth look like for you right now?
For me, when I go back to the martial arts, it gives me peace because I'm in a constant state of development.
Are you studying with your father in town right now at his school?
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
okay. Are you back to assisting or
I'm
instructing?
I'm back to getting my ass whooped.
Your dad was real good at that.
I'm back to getting my ass. And the beautiful thing about the martial arts, I love it, is because no one whoops your ass but yourself.
Right.
Or whatever you're doing, even whatever practice, even this podcast. No one is whooping your ass to make a great podcast other than yourself every day. And that keeps you alive.
Okay.
That gives you a reason why.
Nice.
What will you whoop your own ass for? What will give you passion? What will you enjoy just being with every day and advancing every day? What do you want to grow every day? What will you cultivate every day? And I think this is what gives us meaning in life.
Okay. I ship that, man. That sounds really good. Damn, you make me think about it as I'm doing the podcast.
This is what we're doing, baby.
Am I giving it my best?
Yeah,
Am I doing everything that I can?
Because whatever you're producing at the moment is the best you can give, unless, of course, you feel like you can produce better than you will give it at that moment.
Damn it.
Yeah. I feel it every time when I'm in a deep stretch or I'm in a low position, and I'm like, fuck, this hurts so much.
Yeah.
And it's actually the state of mind when things get really fucking hard.
Right.
It's in this sublime between the fucking, I can just fucking keel over and die right now, or I can keep going.
Okay.
And it's in this realm. That's where you want to be.
All right.
That's the magic realm. It's in between heaven and hell.
Nice.
Yeah.
I dig it. So are you active? Are you doing anything in music anymore?
Yeah. I'm jamming with the baddest motherfuckers on the face of the planet right now.
Here in Yuma?
No, kind of like I'm just writing music in the background, just low, short process. I mean, what I'm trying to do, I mean, is just produce music so I can continue to express myself.
So you're kind of done with the band thing.
Done with the band thing for now. I think the method should be a lot different. I think now what I've learned from the band experience. You know, what I learned from the band experience, one thing was that shouldn't, like, be consistent with who you are, be consistent with what you love and what you do, but don't be stagnant. Like, if an opportunity presents itself for you to grow and for you to play and for you to be creative and you feel like you should take that opportunity to be creative and play and express yourself, then take that opportunity.
Okay.
You know, it's like, if you feel like you really want to do it, then just do it, you know?
Right. And that was the whole mindset behind you just dipping out of town and pursuing a dream in San Diego, and that didn't stifle you from, you could have stayed stagnant in the idea that, like, all right, didn't work in San Diego, so I'm going to do something else entirely different. Mm-hmm. You know, it just kind of worked its way into a different project for you now.
Yeah.
Now you're going to produce music. You know, you tried your hand at this whole band thing, but, you know, it didn't work out. That doesn't mean that your life in music is over.
No.
It needs to take a new form.
Needs to take a new form. Yeah, precisely. And just, I mean, however it comes about, like, but right now, yeah, definitely writing music and just trying to make the best of it, while at the same time being able to really enjoy and experience. If I could change something about my past journey with music, I met so many people, and I had so many friends, and I had so many companions, and so many people that were really there for me, you know, and really taught me, were really there for me, you know. I wish I would have savored everything.
Okay.
And I think that was, like, one of the biggest lessons I learned was, like, you're going to do badass stuff. You could do some stuff that's not so badass. You're going to have the greatest highs, and you're going to have the lowest lows. Savor it.
Right.
I think that was most important.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And here you are now.
Savoring these kombuchas with you.
Did you finish it?
Not yet. I'm savoring.
It's all connected.
It's all right here.
Did you well, first let me say I really appreciate you opening up about all that.
Yeah, thank
on the
you,
podcast.
man.
I was genuinely interested in all that because I know I got some of the details from you every now and again, and just because we would talk off and on again.
Yeah.
But I didn't get like a full on like a journey into Johnny Boy's mind when it came into what the thought process was and how that all came about. I really wanted to do that, to learn that, because I really want to. I spend a lot of my time thinking that I want to do something and then I don't do it.
As do we all.
Yeah. And so I was getting kind of tired of it because I'm getting to a point in my life where it's like I have a beautiful wife, I have a beautiful daughter, and it's like I've done things for them to make things work, you know, as well as I can. Mm-hmm. But eventually it comes to a point where it's like you got to do things for yourself too. And you have to commit to something. You have to believe in something enough that you're willing to take that extra step. And it's like I can't say that I've ever done that. And for me, it's not this podcast. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's important to say. But this podcast is a means to an end. My ultimate goal is to open my own brewery one day, to be a business owner. I have a big passion for craft beer, and I do want to get into making my own. Mm-hmm. This podcast serves only for me to learn and to grow as a person to get to that goal.
Yes.
So, but I'm still having fun while I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's not the end goal. I'm not going to make a livelihood off of doing a podcast. I'm just going to learn everything that I can and then use that to my benefit to make my brewery. You know, but I think it's important to kind of step into a mindset of like what it means to actually pursue a goal. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not just saying that you're going to do something and then, you know, doing a few things that kind of line up with what it is that's in your head, and then just, you know, if it seems a little tough, dipping out. It's like you had every reason to not keep doing it. I mean, between the smell in the apartment, the size of the apartment, just the personalities conflicting with each other inside of that apartment, it's just like that's all conditions for disaster. And that's not to say disaster happened per se like the whole time, but it's very uncomfortable, and people naturally want to be comfortable, and they'll abandon something because it makes them uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. But you believed in your dream hard enough that you wanted to stick it out through the discomfort. And I think that's really important. And I think that's a mindset that everyone should have if they really want to commit to a dream or a belief and make something of something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think helping people plays an incredible role in continuing to like keep the fire burning inside you. Or at least for me, like what helped my dream to be great was because it was a way for me to play and express myself. So in a way that I can have fun and be expressive. Expand my life, let my life grow myself. Mm-hmm. These were things that really applied to me. But to be able to take them out into the world and be able to assist them, just like a plant will grow itself and become strong and great. And then when someone needs it, it's actually a medicine plant that you can use to heal yourself.
Okay.
And this is how we are as people, you know, we're all different plants growing, and we're all different medicines growing on this great earth. So it's like, maybe the medicine I provide might not help someone, but maybe the medicine that you can provide with your expression and your play and your joy and what makes you happy, your interests, you know, maybe that's going to be medicine for someone.
Okay.
And so
that's a big motivator.
Mm-hmm.
I dig that. Speaking of plants and medicine, you got really into that natural,
I love it,
herbal kind of life, right? You learned a lot about that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm cleansed.
I know.
Getting all that bad shit out of my system right now. All the hops.
Right.
So, you know, you finished up with your deal in San Diego, and then I don't know if it was during that time or maybe sometime after that you started picking up on like these natural remedies or these. How would you describe them? Like what it is that you kind of dealt. What kind of knowledge was it that you were picking up?
It was just bringing harmony and equilibrium back to the body, balancing the body.
It was like using substances, though, right?
Well, you can.
I say substances loosely. I don't mean to say that you were like getting fucked up on heroin and discovering different layers, peeling back the layers to the universe. But you were using like herbs or teas or something to help you like elevate your mindset.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Like, what are some of the things that you were kind of using?
Well, so
Besides I mean, weed is like textbook. I'm sure living in California when they did their whole legalization thing, it kind of opened up the doorway for you to.
Yeah, definitely. Well, even cannabis, like, is such a powerful plant teacher. Like, what the ancients believe is that the plants are teachers. Like, if you think about it, like, nature is not born of man; man's born of nature.
Okay.
As Paul Stamets put it, he said, "We come out of it." So nature is the OG. Nature knows more and has been here more and is far more intelligent than us. It knows how to run its whole system on its own, you know? Shit, we can't even figure out how to wipe our ass. Like, like nature's got it going on. It knows exactly what it needs to do. And so we learn from it. And every plant is, they're actually teachers. There's actually spirits that are inside those plants, and they assist you. So when you commune with those spirits, you learn from them. And even, I mean, on a less mystical level, these plants will access parts of your consciousness that maybe we have difficulty accessing on a normal basis, and they will assist you in accessing these different parts of your consciousness so that you can perceive differently. Because really, we're just observing, we're just observers, you know. So it's like, what point of view do we really want to look at this life experience from? Because, you know, just as much as I'm having fun right now and like having a good time doing this, you know, maybe in another dimension, I came in here with this mood that I want to get this over with.
Right.
And the whole experience is completely different based on how I'm perceiving it.
Okay.
How I'm taking it, how I'm receiving it, you know.
Okay.
That's how.
So you're describing cannabis as a sort of like a enhancer to your, like, how you perceive.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, it's a great teacher. Like, so these teachers, like, the more that we're able to listen, they're able to show us and teach us through life experience and give us great insight into this life experience.
But cannabis isn't the only sort of like psychoactive plant, or not, I don't want to say psychoactive, but what am I trying to say? Like that kind of plant that peels back the layers a little bit, right? Did you kind of delve into anything else besides just cannabis?
Yes.
Anything that you're allowed to talk about?
Well, yeah, I think I'm allowed to talk about it, all right? No one's gonna get me.
Oh man,
I think so.
Yeah. Get him, boys.
I know, right? Oh man,
but yeah, talk to me a little bit about that, man, because that's not something that I'm not like a weed expert or anything, but I've had a lot of discussions about that and what people believe, that the positive and negative, you know, even though I don't believe that there is a negative, but I'm talking like more of just the stigmas, like your stereotypical beliefs about cannabis. But like, what other kind of stuff? Because I think at one point you did tell me about some stuff that I just, not to say that I wasn't paying attention, but I was drunk and just completely ignorant to whatever the fuck you were saying.
It's okay.
It was that day that we were at my mom's house.
Oh yeah, we came back.
And you were saying some shit that I knew that was some good shit.
Yeah.
But I had been drinking for too long and I had no idea what the fuck you were talking about.
It's okay. So when you dream, inside your brain, there's this gland called the pineal gland, and it has water in it, and it pretty much reflects the light that you receive from the sunlight, and
it's in your brain.
It's in your brain. It's
so the light that you're getting through your eyes.
Yeah, and it goes in there, and then it reflects it, and there's water in it, and pretty much what it does is it's like an eyeball. Oh, it's the thing that makes the images in your dreams.
Oh, okay. Like a third eye kind of.
It's the third eye.
It's the third eye. Holy shit, dude.
That's how you're seeing in the dream.
Okay.
Is through that thing. So you can see through that, not just in the dream, but you can see through that here.
Okay.
You can get it pumping and working.
So you use a number of different things to help you do that, to help you experience.
You can do it on your own.
You can do it on your own.
Yeah. You can do it on your own.
Without the use of substances?
Without the use of substances.
Really?
Yeah.
Like through what means?
Detoxification and breath work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like kind of like a meditation, like a Zen breathing kind of thing.
Just conscious breathing and detoxification, because it gets calcified by fluoride. they put fluoride in our water and all these beverages. There's probably fluoride in here. I'm not sure. But like, you know, it's continue to just my thing is like, it's like, you know, don't tell everyone to just like stop what you're doing, drop everything. You know, more like try to incorporate as many detoxifying, health improving acts that you can. Don't try to get rid of all this.
Give me some examples. Like, what are some examples of a detoxifying act?
Oh, one, I would switch over to like a purified water, like drinking water. Like, you know, you get a gallon, like a water crock, and I would switch out my water immediately. That's like one of the biggest ones, just drinking.
Just to get the fluoride out?
Reverse osmosis filtered water. I mean, it goes even deeper on like how high quality, you know, do you want your water to be? Do you want it to be alkaline? Do you want it to be electric? Like, you can do different things to get that. Eating more fruits. I think eating more fruits is key in detoxifying your body, reducing the amount of animal products.
And that's for the probiotics? Like the...
Oh, well, I mean, for anything in your body.
Okay.
You just, as long as you, it's like you want to put your body into more of a detox mode so that you can detox.
Yeah, because I know that that's the main thing about probiotics, right? They eliminate the toxicity in your liver and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if it's all fruits have probiotics or whatever, but that's just what it kind of sounded like you were talking about there for a second. But
yeah, no, I mean, well, like, fruits are good. Anything that like helps, like one thing I paid a lot of attention on, which is kind of ironic because I'm here drinking alcohol, but I know it's like, you're fucking up, John, but I'm here with you.
That's all. I'm fucking you up, man.
This is a once in a blue moon type of thing, but
Okay.
It is like, you know, paying attention to your liver and how well you take care of your liver, you know, supporting your liver. So as you, like a connoisseur of alcohol, you know, you're going to want to do things to support your liver in conjunction with the lifestyle that you have. Regardless of whether you had an affinity for alcohol or not, you're still going to want to support your liver because your liver is going to detox your whole body.
Okay.
It's
So I'm kind of clogging it up a little bit with all that.
You're just giving it more work is what it is.
Yeah.
So when it stops working on having to detox the alcohol, it's going to go to work on other stuff.
Okay.
And that's why the body works. It's just your body naturally wants to, you know, build, you know, but the body's always spending so much time cleaning that it can't start, remodeling the house because it's always so busy cleaning the house every day.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so when you do that, then the glands start working better, and then you're able to access this. And there's various you can either do it through, you know, conscious breathing, meditation, or you can also do it through the use of, you know, plant medicines. And there's different plant medicines that will induce visionary journeys, and you will enter into a subconscious space.
So what besides cannabis, what other type of plant medicines are we talking about?
You can do DMT, ayahuasca, which is the DMT is actually what produces the dream images.
You know, I've seen enough. I hear that one a lot just because of the popularity of the Joe Rogan podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't actually know. I know I've heard him talk about how your brain naturally produces DMT.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's a substance, it's not a substance solely created by the brain. Like it's also found in plants.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everything that's the cannabis inside, when you're smoking the cannabis, it's already in you. You already have like a cannabinoid system, I think.
Okay.
Is what it's called. Like you already have all these chemicals inside your body.
Okay.
You produce them, actually. They just
Give you
more.
enough to give
they
you.
They give you more, but you can actually produce them if you want. You can call them out and produce them out.
Okay.
And that's what the breathing is for. You can breathe them out into, you know, activation, or you can just, you know, use these plants and you can get more of them, you know, because you are nature.
Was DMT something that you try to hand in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was that like?
It was one of the most life-altering experiences I've ever had.
Really?
It's so deep and it's profound and it's for you. It's your. You see, that's the whole reason why this whole thing is what it is like the pineal gland, the DMT, everything is like your spirituality is in your body. You're already a spiritual person.
Okay.
You don't have to do anything to be spiritual. You're already born spiritual. Everything you do is spiritual. And so when you go into these, you know,
other states of consciousness, you begin to just receive downloads of information from whatever the other higher source is, or whatever you're receiving this information from. It's within. I mean, honestly, it's actually within.
Okay.
Going within is what gets you the bigger experience, and when you start going in, it starts to talk to you.
That's a hardcore hallucinogen, isn't it? Like, you really, like, what you're looking at, what you're seeing is definitely not even close to what's actually going on around you, right?
It's a story arc. Like, it's like, well, it depends. Like, it depends. Like, the actual experience is, it fluctuates and it varies. But
Okay.
I would say in the whole medicine experience, like, the one thing I found out is that, like, it's about your ability to kind of, like, take a back seat and surrender to the experience, and just let the experience go and observe, and just watch the movie and listen to what they're trying to tell you. Because whatever they're trying to tell you is going to help you, and it's good to pay attention.
Damn.
You know.
That sounds intimidating, man.
It is. It is. It's never
Fuck,
easy.
dude.
Like, anytime you take the cup or you take the shot or whatever, you eat the mushroom, whatever you're going to do, it's going to take you on a fucking journey. It's like strapping in for a roller coaster.
Yeah, you really don't know what you're kind of strapping in for, but...
You're always going to hit a dark spot. It's always going to get hard.
Yeah.
It's going to get rough, but then it's going to... You know, it really is a story arc, and it's like, it is for you.
Yeah,
that's the thing that I think it's so important, is because these medicines are, you know, there's so many ways we can try to help each other out, but this thing actually goes and it talks directly to you, about your life, about the things that you go through, about the things that you struggle with that you don't talk to anyone about, and it gives you solutions, and it gives you answers, and it gives you insight on it, and it says, here you go. Here's the stuff that can help you out. The ball's in your court, my friend.
Damn.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of denying myself that by getting so involved with beer, it sounds like. My pineal gland is kind of fucked right now because of all the hops and the... What's that?
Grapefruit is great for your liver. And you know what? Right now we're sipping on a Kyla Hard Kombucha with a hint of grapefruit.
Kyla, give us money. No, I'm
Yeah,
just kidding. No, but I just finished mine, and you're just about finished with yours. So take a break from our journey.
From our
the rabbit
journey.
hole. Yeah. Was it the blue pill? Is it the blue pill or the red pill that morphes you?
We're red pilling right now.
We're red pilling? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what fucking pill, but anyway, to talk about this one, I at first I was a little, how do you say? I wasn't really looking forward to it because I felt like this was going to taste a lot more like grapefruit, and it did. But like I said, it's a very, it's only like 1/3 the taste, you know, the potency of an actual grapefruit and the bitterness. It goes down really smoothly. The kombucha aspect of it, I guess, helps it to do that. So you are left with a little bit of an aftertaste of grapefruit, but it's like kind of enjoyable. There's a tartness to it. It reminds you a lot of like a saison or a sour style beer. I don't know if you ever had one of those.
Man, you're awesome.
Thanks, dude. But
Yeah.
but have you ever had those kind of beers before? Oh, well, that's what it reminds me of, and I think that's these are the type of beers that I think a lot of guys, there's like a stigma behind them, but the stigma being that it's a big time like female craft beer, sours and saisons. Like chicks would definitely, like a Belgian as well. Chicks would be more into those because they offer those tart, fruity kind of flavors with the smooth, carbonated style bodies. It reminds them a little bit of like wine, without that. It's a totally different kind of taste because of hop additions and fruit infusions and the way that it's created. But this reminds me a lot of sipping on a sour. The last sour I had was through Ballast Point in a flight, and it was very tasty, very tart, and it left that fruity film and aftertaste in the back of my throat, and it wasn't to a point where it's like I had to like, I need some water. It wasn't anything like that, you know. It was actually kind of enjoyable. So that's what this hard kombucha reminds me of in both of them. So far of this variety pack, I'm still totally on board with hibiscus lime. The flavor was a lot more enjoyable in that one. I don't know if you're of a different opinion.
I don't know. The grapefruit did it for me because, yeah, it had that. I like seltzer water.
Oh, do you really like a hard seltzer, or just regular?
Just
seltzer?
regular, yeah.
I've never had seltzer water.
Yeah, well, that's why I started drinking kombucha, because I had to stop the sodas. So I just went to seltzer water, and they started doing it for me, and they always have like grapefruit flavor
Oh,
and lime
gotcha,
flavor.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like it kind of just takes me back to somewhere familiar.
So grapefruit is your shit.
For now, until I pop open this ginger tangerine.
But anyway, so if you're a fan of sours, if you're a fan of saisons, then you definitely would want to give a hard kombucha a chance. In my opinion, it's a healthier option. I'm looking at the nutritional facts and I'm amazed. Like there was a time when I was trying a keto diet or low carb diets. To this day, I'm still trying to stay away from so many carbs. And obviously, beer has a shit ton of carbs. But if I was to step away from heavier beers like IPAs and ales and things like that, I think I would switch to hard kombucha. I like the flavor a lot. It still gives me a good buzz, and it's a lot easier in my system. I mean, I've drank 2 of these so far, and collectively, I'm at 2 grams of carbs.
Yeah, you're.
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
That's amazing, and it's like I said, all the stuff that's on that ingredient list. I mean, you know all those things. You can pronounce them. You've seen them before.
Yeah.
Except for natural flavors, which apparently is fetuses.
Yeah.
The fetuses that I've had so far are delicious. So let's crack open this ginger tangerine.
Oh,
I don't
man.
like ginger, but I do like tangerine.
You don't like ginger?
I like ginger ale, but that's because it doesn't really taste like ginger. I've had ginger beer, and that shit is kind of hard. Ginger has a bite, dude. Like a really big bite. Like you'll feel it through your nose after you drink it. That's some hardcore stuff.
You know what? I gotta get you on then. I gotta get you on the podcast to do some ginger shots.
Ginger shots?
Yeah, bro. Some ginger.
What was this? Some more gut biome shots?
Fuck yeah. Some
really?
Gut biome. Yeah, I'll take you on the gut biome shot test next
Keep
time.
some ginger at home. Some of the ginger water, or what is it? Like
Straight ginger juice.
Straight ginger juice?
Yeah, you just put some cayenne pepper on that bad boy, and then you pop it in there.
I'm gonna shit my brains out after I.
You're gonna feel. You know what it feels like?
What's that?
A hot sensation running down your body into your stomach, and then you're gonna feel like your brain goes, and then you're like really alive.
Really, it's kind of like an energy drink, almost like a.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, let's crack open the ginger tangerine.
Cheers.
The kombuchas, man. Cheers.
Thank you.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Does that smell like ginger?
This is awesome.
Oh my god! All right, let's give it a taste.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's got a lot of ginger.
That is my favorite.
Really? It's a lot of ginger. Actually, I'm having trouble picking up on any tangerine.
I know.
I'm getting a lot of fucking ginger.
I love it.
Let me try it again, man. Maybe I just missed the tangerine layer.
It's really good.
Yeah, no, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It is actually it's fresh. It's it tastes good. The ginger just has a bite.
No.
I feel it like in my throat, biting at my throat. But I'm just gonna come out and say that this is my least favorite.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. This is my least favorite of the hard kombuchas.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
But I bet you though. Hold on. So here we are with natural flavors again.
Baby.
It's got organic ginger juice.
There it is right
and
there.
tangerine essential oil.
Yeah, no wonder you hardly taste the tangerine.
Yeah.
Essential oil.
Fuck, those bastards. But that ginger, I promise you, of these kombucha drinks, that this one would probably be better for your stomach. I feel like this is like an alcoholic drink that you can drink to help with an upset stomach, right? Doesn't that sound nuts?
I mean, if like my stomach feels better.
I mean, holy shit. All right, so DMT.
Oh wow, just diving back into DMT.
Yeah, 'cause I talked about the beer. So DMT is one of those things, and
Yeah.
we've talked about cannabis, we've talked about DMT. Did you ever use anything else that helped you kind of tap into that? What was that called? The
Yeah, and just into the pineal gland.
pineal gland.
Yeah, like I don't want to butcher any of this, there's probably people who have a lot more know-how than me about all this.
Just give your experience, brother. I'm not giving I'm not here saying that you're an expert in the fucking field.
Good, because I'm no expert for sure.
But I'm not an expert in beer either, so it's just two guys having a conversation.
Oh, congratulations! Awesome. Okay. Well, it's they look like serotonin, or at least like all the like psychedelics, like they all like mimic or look like the serotonin structure.
Okay.
Structure. So it's all pretty similar but different. Like the way I would describe it is it's like all the different plant teachers, they're gonna teach you. You're going to class, right? But every teacher is different. So
let me and I don't mean to be rude.
No.
So you say plant teachers.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about these. So you're talking about plants. So like a cannabis plant, you see a cannabis plant, and you're identifying them as a teacher.
Teachers.
So what's the mindset behind that? What made you start doing that? Because so anybody that listened to you talk might take a step back and be like, wait, is he talking about an actual fucking plant, or is he talking about somebody that is teaching him about the plants?
No.
You're talking about the actual plant.
The plant is the teacher.
Okay.
They've been here a long time. They know how to stand tall. They know how to grow strong.
Okay.
They know how to provide for everybody.
Right on.
They're the people that they know how to do it.
Okay.
They know how to grow and bring life. They know how to make a lot of life happen.
Cool.
And
Yeah,
we're
no,
learning
I just wanted to point that out, in case anybody got confused while they listened to it. So go ahead and continue your train of thought. I was just
No, yeah, excellent. Yeah,
I feel like that's important to point out.
Yeah, they're definitely teachers, and they're here teaching us. I mean, every day they're teaching us. Even when you don't even consume them, they're still teaching you. You know, like I got this one interesting teaching from San Pedro cactus. It was it's a psychedelic plant. It's a cactus. It's ubiquitous to southwestern area.
Wait, are you talking about the Beavis and Butthead cactus?
I don't know. Is that?
You never seen Beavis and Butthead do America?
Was it the cactus? Do they?
Yeah, they like bite into the. I think they drink the cactus water, and suddenly everything gets all trippy, and they start having like a psychedelic experience.
Probably the cactus that they. It's more than likely the cactus that they ate.
So is it? So you drink it in its water form, or did you consume it, like eat it, or what?
Yeah, you have to prepare it, so you have to.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to get the medicine out of it. You have to.
And this is just a cactus that's growing.
It's growing outside. It's growing in your neighbor's yard. It's growing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's growing everywhere. Like
I'll have to go ask my neighbors.
It's growing at Home Depot. It's yeah. You can just buy them.
So then it all comes down to the preparation and what kind of experience you have, or can you just kind of tap into it and be like?
No, yeah, you can. It's a preparation. I mean, you can talk to any plants. Like, you know, they call them tree huggers, right? You can just literally hang out with a tree and learn from a tree.
Okay.
If you're keen with just hanging out with yourself, like, you can learn from everything. Everything's teaching you something.
All right.
And it's archetypal in nature. Like, the plant teachers, it's all archetypal. Like, there's nothing new under the sun. And psychologist Carl Jung talked about the archetypes, like our mind psychologically, like we have these archetypes, and they exist in our mind, but they also exist in the world. Like, everything is just always played the same way. Maybe it was always the same. You know, there's always mother, brother, sister, father. That family archetype unit just persists throughout forever.
Okay.
And we always are dealing with our relationships to one another. This, like, the basic so the understanding, at least what I've gotten so far from these plant teachers, is the understanding is how can we live in harmony with all these different personalities,
right.
I guess. Which is fucking difficult.
So next time I do one of these episodes, I might have you bring. So instead of trying kombucha beers, I might have like some DMT, some San Pedro cactus.
Oh, son, you'll be fucking Beavis and Butthead.
we're gonna take a look into the multiverse.
Yes,
probably
deep in the multiverse.
I'm sorry that I'm blocking your connection to the pineal gland. But.
I know I'm gonna have to detox the fuck out of like for reals. Like I really don't drink too often. I love alcohol. So I spend a lot of time like just fucking online and looking at some crazy shit, and then like going out and just trying to figure some shit out, and like they call it going down the rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I go down the rabbit hole a lot on different shit, and like that's how I ended up getting into this whole like, oh, you vegan, do this, and freaking do psychedelics and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, because I wanted to know like, I wanted to know what the answer was. Like, so I went.
I have to ask you though, in your opinion, is the answer just like a simple universal truth, or is it different for everybody? Right? Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like there is no answer. Like it's not one answer.
No.
It's an answer.
Yeah,
it's
right.
your answer.
Right? Yeah. Like it. Yeah. It's totally.
I was just like hearing you talk about it the way that you did, and almost sounded like, dude, like you cracked the code. Like you can answer everyone's problems because you know the answer. But it's like, I wish it was that simple. But it's like you figured it out for you, man.
Yeah, that's the crazy shit. Like in. Because I went down the rabbit hole. I went down a lot of rabbit holes. Like
You rabbit slut.
Yeah, for reals, right? I'm like humping my way down these holes, right? I'm like one thing like what they refer to the universe as is
like the observable universe.
Yeah, this experience, like God universe, like what the old Hermetics would refer to it as is the all.
Okay.
It is the all. Like to know the Tao, the whole thing, God, whatever you want to call it, this thing is.
Okay.
And to know it and to name it is to not be it.
Okay.
It's the thing that cannot be named.
Yeah.
It's the all. It's all that is.
It's like when you decide to give it a name that you're just shouting out loud that you just don't fucking get it.
You just don't fucking get it because it's the thing that cannot be known.
Yeah.
It's the fucking great eternal mystery.
Yeah.
So to try to understand it, to try to figure it out, you're like a hamster running around on a wheel.
Yeah.
Because you'll never, to name it, you won't know it because it's the unnameable, everything.
Yeah.
So
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. You're a sovereign being. You can.
I love having I love telling people all the time that like when people want to have the conversation, I don't like having these conversations, but like whatever your worldview is, or what is it that you believe in, or whatever it is that you think that everything is, I will always respond with I don't know. And like I feel like if more people fucking did that, if more people just said I don't know and we're just being honest with it, then we'd all be like, I know, right? And just walk away from it instead of getting into these like super ridiculous like debates and creating these barriers between us, It's just stop pretending to know, brother.
Who knows?
Nobody fucking knows.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. But if I go down somewhere and it teaches me some shit, at least I know that for me.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like, you only know what you know for you.
Yeah, like, it's important to learn more about yourself, but don't try to figure out the universe, man. Like, it's got no obligation to be understood by you,
Yeah. But every obligation. It's an inside-outside black hole.
Okay.
It's all, it is and it isn't, But
Right.
you're absolutely right. To try to understand it is like, it's pointless, It's like,
I've got when it comes to these these theoretical physicists and astrophysicists that come out and they explain to the best of their abilities what they understand so far, but that's not to say that they have an answer to the big question. They always give their idea, like this is what I think, and it's so crazy that somebody as educated as that, with all the tools that they have to be able to look at things that we can only dream of, can still say, well, this is what I think, instead of like, this is what it is. Like, I can't expect some dude that works at the McDonald's counter to like, if I try to have this conversation and he tells me like, oh, this is what it is. Yeah, it's definitely God.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're fucking kidding me, right? Like that's all you got. Just say you don't know.
Yeah.
It's okay. There's nothing wrong with being ignorant.
But even God's cool too, because like even if it's like maybe you don't know, but it is God, Well, does that God make you a cool person? You know what I mean? Like, if that God makes you a badass person, or at least gives you the like spark to be good, like, because the only thing that I can like, I guess like what I've learned now, like from this experience, is like the only thing that I can like, I guess like quantify or like have any type of like I can actually observe is what's happening like right here.
Right,
you
yeah.
know? So it's like,
Unless you're on DMT or San Pedro Cactus, because then you're seeing with more than just your eyes, right?
man, you're seeing with your heart from there. It's crazy. Sometimes you don't even trip. You don't even see things. You just feel
Really?
things. You just feel
Maybe
things.
you're just that woke. Like your third eye is just in a permanent state of
right? Just like feeling it. It's like the only thing that I can observe is like people, you know, like, and this experience, and that's it. Like, what I get from it is what I see and how I perceive it, you
Okay.
know? So it's like how I receive you, you know? So I guess I try to like observe everything as an observer. I try to watch the movie and pretty much watch the movie. Don't try to figure out the movie.
Okay.
Try to be watching the movie as much as you can to enjoy the movie, but don't be trying to figure out the movie while you're watching the movie. Don't try to figure out
Okay.
who's the killer and who's gonna do this with what and who's gonna save the day and whatever. Don't try to figure it out while you're watching the movie, because you're gonna like, you're too much in here and you're watching the movie.
Yeah.
Just watch the movie, enjoy the movie, and if you know what I mean. And
Right,
if you don't
right.
like the movie, get out. Go watch another movie. You know, like, and that's. But the only movie that we're watching is like this one right here.
Yeah.
And it's the most important movie to watch because it's the one that's actually being played for us.
Cool, man. Yeah. I'm definitely going to have to bring you back for another episode, man.
Yeah, I
Having
know.
a good time picking your brain apart.
Dude, it's weird.
I'll get some different kombucha next time. I'll try some of that Boochcraft. Is that the one you said you had?
Bushcraft.
Maybe I should get something that you haven't had before.
Bushcraft's boss sauce, though.
Boss sauce.
It's
I
boss
guess
sauce.
it'll be more for me.
We'll get a bunch. We'll get a bunch of different kombucha beers.
Yeah, you know, it's one of the challenges that I'm facing doing this craft beer.
Thank you.
Jesus. Ginger. Oh. One of the challenges that I'm facing by doing a craft beer podcast is my access to craft beer. So Yuma's not really like the bee's knees when it comes to craft beer.
For real?
It really isn't. So like where I'm struggling is that what I don't want to do is buy a fucking 6-pack of just to try one beer, which unfortunately is the case. We don't have like a Bevmo or a Wine and More where I can go and just pick like individual cans. I'll try to look for some kombucha stuff so that we can talk again. Not the Kyla one. I think I want to get one that's a little more low key because, like I said, they're a spinoff of Full Sail Brewing.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I love these. These are great.
Yeah.
These make me feel good.
But yeah, something a little less commercial, and that's what I really want to support those that haven't already like super made it. You know, like
Yeah.
I want to put their name out there a little bit more. Like that's why I'll never be caught drinking like Bud Light or Budweiser on this fucking channel. It's like
Nice.
they don't need to be talked about, man. You get it.
You get it, right?
But yeah, so I'll do that. So I'll do this episode, and I'll record one more. And I think after that, it might be a little while before I upload, just because I need to stock up on beers and then start recording again. But dude, thank you so much.
Man, thank you.
Thank you for all the fucking ridiculous info that you gave me today. I really enjoyed talking music again. It's been a while since I've talked music.
Oh, man. Dude, It's been a while since I've talked music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
thank
really
you.
awesome. And then, dude, thank you for disclosing all that. You know, I'm sure it doesn't stop at DMT and Cactus, you know, San Pedro Cactus, but just what you've told me so far, that's been very eye-opening.
Storm Area 51.
That's the message you want to give to anyone who's listening.
Right? I know, right? I'm at the Storm Area right now.
So let me end the episode on this note. Kyla Hard Kombucha. Actually, forget the Kyla part. Hard Kombucha, I ship it. I'm on board with it. I love the idea of it. It gives you the opportunity to enjoy something that has an expensive flavor profile and still gets you that good buzz feeling, and it's good for you. I can't speak to the probiotics. I think it's without its probiotics because of the alcohol content. And again, look that up for yourselves, or I'll look it up and I'll speak about it on the next episode. But at a certain point, I know alcohol cannot work with probiotics. So, but there are other benefits to kombucha that are still, working while you're drinking it with the alcohol in it. I don't feel bloated. I feel really good, actually. I feel like a good buzz without feeling like the toots. Earlier we went to the bathroom, I farted, but it wasn't like one of those like, oh, I'm so bloated I have to fart. It was just like, it felt good, like I was just releasing some kind of like pressure that had been there previously.
Yeah.
So anyway, I 100% ship it. To say again, in my opinion, the hibiscus lime is the best flavor, followed by the grapefruit, and then the ginger tangerine. If ginger's your shit, like it is for Johnny Boy,
Ginger,
then it'll definitely make it onto the top of the list. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Johnny Boy's given his opinion. Johnny Boy's given us a lot of information. So so take the requisite time to kind of reflect on the things that we talked about, and think about how that made you feel, and be sure to leave a comment on the YouTube channel. Hit me up on social media. You can inbox me on Instagram and Facebook. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if that made you feel anything, or any sort of, if you want to have any sort of discussion about it. I'm fucking buzzing off of these kombuchas.
right?
So on that note, Johnny Boy, you got anything you want to say to anybody that's listening?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for just hanging out with us and being here with us and spending time. I want to go ahead and thank the Pursuit of Hoppyness for having us on and just being such a great host to us. And just a lot of love for you guys. Thank you so much.
All right. And just real quick, and because I didn't get an opportunity to do this in my first episode, I want to give a quick shout out to my really, really good friends. It's another podcast called You've Been Served. And I'll be sure to put their link in the description of the YouTube video, and also on my Facebook and Instagram page. They're a really, really good, chill group of guys. They're really hilarious to listen to, and really, how would you say, thought-provoking conversation going on in their podcast. So that's a shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to these episodes probably of the Pursuit of Hoppyness, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy.
Yeah.